Welcome to the Scottsdale Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Haygood. Each week, we get to feature the people, places, and events of Scottsdale, and this week is no different. I'm very excited to introduce you to Gateway Academy. They are a school for the high-functioning autistic children in our valley, really. They serve every purpose. I went to the school. I got to meet some incredible people there, and I'm so excited to share their story with you. But first, go on your phone, wherever you're listening to this podcast, hit subscribe. That way you'll never miss another episode. It'll be downloaded every week for you to make sure you're staying on top of what's going on in Scottsdale. And don't forget, we also are the proud owners and family of Scottsdale City Lifestyle. Just another way for you to find out more about what's going on in Scottsdale, our favorite city that we're so lucky to call home. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I have Gateway Academy at the table with me. When it comes to family-friendly dentistry, there's only one place in Scottsdale, and that's Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry. Teeth cleaning, innovative, pain-free laser dentistry, teeth whitening, root canals, and really any dental need you may have, Dr. Rob and his staff at Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry can handle it all. They're more than just a dentist, they really are family. We've been going there for over 3 years, and my family loves them. When your kids get excited to go to the dentist, you know you've got a good one. Dr. Rob DeVito is the only dentist in town that can handle it all. Give him a call at 480-990-1905. You can find him on the web at drdevito.com. And don't forget to tell him you heard him on the podcast. When we talk about education, we can all agree that we want what's best for our kids. But sometimes kids need special attention and can't fit into the general education system. Kids that have high-functioning autistic kids or children with Asperger syndrome, that's where Robin Sweet and Anthony Terrill of Gateway Academy are here to help. Robin started this school 18 years ago when she and her family moved here with her 3 kids. After learning that her son had high-functioning autism and Asperger, she tried everything to get the public school to work for him, but she just couldn't succeed. What does a parent do when they can't find the resources that they're looking for? Well, if you're with Robin, you'll start your own school and help your child and those like your children right here in our own backyard. So Robin, Gateway Academy serves the high-functioning autistic kids grades 8 through 12. Tell me about your experience with your son in public school and why you felt starting school was the best decision for you and really the Valley here too, because your son is not one of the only ones.
Right. We moved here 19 years ago and from California, and we thought that we would be able to find a school in Scottsdale for children with Asperger syndrome. Mm-hmm. I was incorrect. That was not the case. The schools we did find were for kids with learning disabilities, and then the majority were for kids with behavioral issues.
Okay. So when you say learning disabilities, are we talking like dyslexic and those kind of
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even up to the gifted schools almost, right? In that sense, like we're... Or not?
Yeah, I think that the majority of learning disabilities are, the kids that really struggle with dyscalculia, dyslexia. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I was finding, which
did not serve your
needs. Serve our son's needs.
Yeah.
No. And we had just sold a school that we had in Southern California for kids with Asperger's. I came back to my husband and I said, well, let's do it again. Another school.
Now, your husband has been working in education his whole career as well. So this is nothing new to you. Education is very important in your family, and you take it very seriously. So you already had that passion before your son was diagnosed in that sense.
My husband had the passion.
You're like, let's be very clear. I learned the passion.
I mean, my first profession was I was a pediatric surgical nurse. And no, I did not believe that I would be running schools. But
you never know.
Yeah. Right.
So let's talk about the process of you starting this school here in Scottsdale and what that process looked like for you and most importantly for the students that you're helping.
When we first started Gateway, I just can't remember what the numbers were, but it might have been 1 in 500 children that are affected with by autism.
Okay.
Today, it's 1 in 34.
Wow. So in 18 years, it's gone up that much?
Dramatically, exponentially.
Wow.
With that said, the kids that are diagnosed with high-functioning autism and who are twice exceptional just don't fit into the typical special ed environment.
Okay.
Because academically they're bright, socially, emotionally, sensory, they struggle dramatically.
Okay. And that's something that we really need to talk about because they are extremely smart and intelligent.
Yes.
A lot. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit some of them more than me, and that's fine. That comes with confidence and age.
It's all good.
And that's really important to understand. Like, it really is that social, emotional support that these kids really struggle with in life.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Anthony, I'm going to bring you into this. Anthony, you've been in education for around 20 years. You've done everything from, you started off as a PE teacher, you worked in a Title I school, now you're the director of education here at Gateway Academy. You actually told me your brother was on the spectrum, so you have experience of what it was like being a sibling and watching your parents struggle during those difficult times. Like me, we didn't grow up in an age where we had the resources, you know, and same with you, Robin, for your son 20, 30 years ago like we do now. How did that affect you, and why did you get into education in that way?
Yeah, that's a great question. So obviously it touches me on a more personal level too. So I got into education. I started out coaching college basketball, loved that. Try to figure out how to kind of intertwine that with education, starting out teaching elementary PE and just kind of have gone from there. You know, coming to Gateway Academy, obviously it's different when you have a different, my lenses look a little bit different.
Yeah.
I lived being a sibling with a kid, on the spectrum, running late to soccer practices, not being able to go to sleepovers, canceling parties, certain things that just at the time I didn't know was any different. That was just my childhood. That's, you go through life and you just think all kind of families are that way. You
Interesting.
know what I mean? Someone's not in a mood today to go to school, so no one's going to school today. So that, and growing up and now and where I'm at, definitely, it's helped me mature an aspect. Now here at Gateway Academy, being able, if my brother had a resource like we do now, something like that where we take their strengths and help them where their weaknesses are. So to me, it means a little bit more. I know the daily ins and outs. I know if they're having a bad day, it's a bad day. We'll come back. We'll restart tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you need a 5-minute break, go outside, take a 5-minute break, come back. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
So we know kind of how to support those kids here at Gateway, and Miss Robin and Dr. Bloom have done a great job at that. So again, it's just being able to take those kids, meet them where their needs are at, and really kind of set them up for success at Gateway, but big picture wise too. Like once they leave us, we want them to go to college. We want them to be successful in life, individuals. Fall in love, get married, have a job, do whatever you want to do. And we're just trying to help them find those resources to make that happen.
You said something that really resonated with me. If you're having a bad day, that's fine. Let's come back to it. If you need to take 5 minutes or take a deep breath, that's not something that's special to those children. I think that's a lesson that we all need to focus on, and we put this unnecessary pressure on us, and it's taken me many, many, many years. In fact, I've only been practicing the opposite of that for the past couple of years of I'm going to walk away, because if it's not working, why am I going to continue doing this? But and I'm guilty of this, of continuing to make my kids do something, go take a break and walk away. So to me, that's a lesson that's not special. It's what we can learn from these kind of kids of, what happened when they took a 5-minute break? Maybe we need to practice the same thing we're preaching, kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. I think that's education, and at its finest.
Yeah.
I think education has gotten a little muddied up here recently, but it's just being able to take, some of the stuff is very practical. Like you said, take a break, come back, have a great rest of the day.
Yeah.
So it's just being able to kind of take those skills and really focus on education.
I love that. Robin, talk about the purpose of a 6th through 12th grade. That's what Gateway Academy focuses on. Why did you decide a 6th through 12th, and what's the focus that way?
We started with K through 12.
Okay.
And what we ended up finding over time is that the kindergarten through 5th graders really need more individual attention than Gateway was able to support.
Okay.
And we only do what we do best. And so we know that there are a lot of programs out there for kindergarten through 5th grade, not so much 6th through 12th.
Interesting. So you found the little missing piece almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the 6th through 12th graders, well, we'll talk. Middle school is middle school.
It's hard.
Again.
It's not a fun 3 years.
and our kids are just different. Socially, emotionally, they're about 3 to 4 years socially immature.
Okay.
So we're always keeping that in our mind. And then at any given moment of any given day, you can be having a high-level adult conversation where you go, oh, hold on a second, let me Google this.
Oh, yeah. My son does this to me now.
Yeah.
It's again, he's only 9, and it was probably like last year when I finally gave in. It's like, I don't know. I'm just like defeated, and like my 9-year-old outsmarted me, and all right, we're just gonna have to Google that. Yeah.
Yeah. And these are the kids that have great brains, good hearts. They're the kindest, nicest kids on the face of this earth. Mm-hmm. They look like any other kid. Mm-hmm. You engage in a conversation and all of a sudden you're going down the physics rabbit hole or whatever their passion is.
Yeah.
And so our goal is to take that passion, whether it's the passion of the week, the passion of the month, and build that curriculum around that. And our teachers are just so superb where they know every kid. They know what their interests are, whether it is the interest of the week.
Right.
And formulate the curriculum to include that interest. So instead of really loving 1 or 2 subjects, all of a sudden the consistency is across the board of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon lives in English, math, science, and history.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. But it's great.
But that just goes to show the quality of teachers that you hire. I mean, that's really a testament to them. You, Robin, can come up with this great idea. You can't execute 6th through 12th grade by yourself. We all know that.
Indeed.
So, Anthony, that kind of leads me into my next question. Talk about some of these educational classes and the curriculum that's offered there at Gateway Academy.
Yeah, so our teachers, this is definitely a passion for them. It's not just a job. It's not like an 8 to 5 for them. These teachers truly, 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 truly care about the kids.
Yeah.
And that shows every day, you know what I mean? Whether it's a kid's birthday, whether it's they know that they had like a sporting event over the weekend. So our teachers really take an investment in our kids. And our teachers are great. I mean, they have content knowledge. They're subject expert teachers. So whether that's math, English, history, PE, whatever that subject is, whatever those kids are in, our teachers, I mean, that's their expertise. Mm-hmm. But also it's being able to make it fun and engaging for our kids. Our kids think outside the box, so our teachers have to think outside the box. So we like to think anything creative, anything is on the table.
Yeah.
We might adjust it here and there, but we're open to anything. An example is I know one of our AP stats class took a field trip last year to go like laser tag.
I was just saying AP stats, by the way. That's like that's not even near my caliber of expertise.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, so we offer AP classes both in English and math. So it's just the curriculum that we offer is great. For our kids that are super advanced and want to be challenged, we have those. And it just allows our students, they take their education very serious. They think that they should know everything. You know what I mean? Right off the bat, they come in and they should know it all. But there is that learning process. And like Ms. Robbins said, the social and emotional part is a little behind. But as far as, those academics, they come in, they want to perform, they want to do great. And our teachers really kind of help take that, embrace it, think outside the box, but then bring it back into like a real world situation too. Whether it's calculating rent, doing AP stats on a laser tag, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, because the lasers and everything. Yeah.
The laser, the stats, where you finished, calculating rent, taxes, and all these things. Well, even myself,
I was about to say, wait, I might need to go back to this class.
Yeah. So, setting them up for real world success. What type of job do you want? Well, if so, this is about the salary range. So it's really kind of helping them, preparing them for life outside of Gateway so they can live independently.
Let's talk a little bit about that. You said at the beginning, Anthony, and I want to focus on that. You set these kids up, they don't leave you and then that's it. You set them up for the next stage of life, and that's so critical for all children, especially these that are, a few years behind in that emotional maturity. Talk about, you work with some of the community colleges around here. You offer these AP classes. That's huge to me.
Right. So Gateway in general, we took this phrase from a parent, and we are basically like a living, breathing IEP. So to be able to take these kids and focus on what they want to do individually. So our juniors and seniors, they take classes at PVCC, Paradise Valley Community College. Also students that maybe just want to go into the career field. They took a field trip today, just 2 of our seniors, with our Director of Student Services, Mr. Kurt. So we kind of individualize things per each student, find out where they want to go to school, where they want a job. It's taking them to Target, Hardee's, wherever it may be, teaching them this is a resume, this is how we this is how you get a job.
Yeah.
It's also, we work closely. Our juniors and seniors took some field trips to a place called First Place, which is kind of like teaches them how to learn independently. They have a full staff there. So as far as the community, we're very engaged in, little things.
Yeah.
Collaborative with whatever our students are invested in, want to find success in. Us as Gateway will find those routes for them to take and kind of guide them down that path.
I love that, because everything you're talking about, though, Robin, Anthony, it's not just for the autistic and Aspergers or special needs kids. It's something we can really work towards with all of our kids at every learning ability, teaching them that you don't just have to go down the college route. You can go the technical route. We still need technical skilled workers. Like, we are in desperate need of all of these. Jobs aren't going away. Maybe you want to go in the construction industry,
Exactly.
Crane workers and bulldozers, they make a great salary. It's not going anywhere, those kind of jobs. So I really like that you focus on what the interest is, and that you keep saying it's all outside of the box. And sometimes we get stuck inside of the box, and we need to remember that's not what life really is, kind of thing. I love that. I'm going to take a short break. When we come back, I really want to talk about the community that supports the students, the parents, the families, because we all need each other. It really takes a village, and we're going to talk about that village with you guys. Stay tuned. When it comes to protecting you, your family, and all your assets, you need to have someone that you can trust, and that's Jeremy Mueller of State Farm Insurance. Jeremy Mueller has lived in Scottsdale his whole life. How can anyone else know your needs more than someone who's been here and seen it all? Jeremy and his team are always ranked in the top % at State Farm. He cares, he's knowledgeable, and most importantly, he's always available. Don't believe me? Give him a call at 480-515-5223 or find him at jeremymueller.com. We're sitting here with Robin and Anthony from Gateway Academy. Robin, as a parent of an autistic son, you know firsthand the difficulties, the sacrifices you and the rest of the family have to take. Anthony, we talked about this with your little brother. It's so important that these families and these kids have a voice and that their voices are heard and taken seriously. So talk about the village that you have to support the families of these students, because that, to me, shows a huge success all around when you have that.
Well, the saying "it takes a village to raise a child" is as true as
How
true can
how
get.
many villages does it take for these children, though?
There are a lot of villages. There are a lot of villages. So it isn't easy to walk in the shoes of a parent who is raising a child on the spectrum. It just isn't. But there are so many wonderful resources out there, and go figure, Arizona has a plethora of support services.
I love to hear that.
For our families. It's shocking.
Yeah.
It's in a good way.
That's good.
So we're not just about educating the child and helping them be independent and successful. The parents need those tools and strategies too, because as I was walking the walk, it's like, I'm out. I have nothing. I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
So we try to include everything under one roof. So we have a speech and language therapist. We have an occupational therapist. We do music. So we have instrumental and digital music. And so these are all things that our kids need to have in order to find that passion. Because if they're not exposed to it, they don't know. Same thing with the parents. We're about the families. All about the families.
Yeah.
And we need to support our parents equally as much, because it's frustrating to go, I don't know what to do, people.
Yeah. I feel that way too sometimes, and my children are not on the spectrum. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so we have a parent support group. We have a parent support group coming tonight, and we have one of our parents who is a doctor of behavioral health.
Oh, very nice.
And she's going to be talking about life after Gateway, being in college, post-secondary, and being neurodiverse and what that looks like. We also have our lovely director of First Impressions who is going to participate in that. She, too, is on the spectrum.
Oh, okay.
And she graduated from ASU's Carey School of Business.
Very nice.
Very bright young lady.
Yeah.
And so I want her to explain to the parents that this actually does happen, and she's living proof.
Yeah.
100% of our kids at Gateway graduate and go on to college, university, or specialty program.
I mean, not every school can say that. That's a huge thing to boast and brag about, especially for someone of y'all's school specialty needs.
Absolutely. And, you know, we really have two groups at Gateway where you have the twice exceptional that are advanced academically, and then you have your lovely, sweet, high-functioning kids that can go on and be independent and successful, and we all define what that looks like on our walk.
You all have won some awards of national accreditation for things too, right?
We're accredited by Cognia. We've, for the past, I think 10 years, have received the Award of Excellence from the National Association of Special Education Teachers.
That's huge.
So we're very proud of that. We collaborate with a lot of wonderful businesses within our community. Hunkape is our equine therapy program. They're magnificent. Our students, both in high school and middle school, get to choose that as an elective. We work with First Place and SARC and, as Anthony said, Paradise Valley Community College, also Gateway Community College. They're the ones that focus on the vocational tracks.
Okay.
And not everybody, whether you're high functioning or whether you're twice exceptional.
Yeah.
The vocational track may be for you.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we're talking about. I mean, there is a place for everyone.
Absolutely.
We just have to make sure that we're aware of those and offer those to our students and learn about them as well. Anthony, we all hear specialty school. How can I afford this? It's going to be expensive. I can't do it, but I know that my child needs it. Talk to me about y'all's scholarship program, transportation, because y'all have children from all over the valley come to you, even though you're here in town.
Yeah, so we have kids come from all over the valley. We have phone calls probably every other day from even parents from like out of state, just kind of calling to get some more information about the school. So I would say, Miss Robin, you can correct me, I would say about 99 to 100% of our kids are on the ESA scholarship.
You're correct.
So yeah, the best thing about this scholarship is it's not based on anything financial.
Okay.
So it's based on the diagnosis. So with that being said, what that looks like in our school is, diversity across the board.
Yeah.
So the scholarship pays for these students to attend our private day school. All they have to do is get the diagnosis, apply, and then we kind of have a system. Our director of admissions kind of follows up with that. But our scholarship is great because, education and a great education is expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
So especially for our parents where their kids have come from charter schools or district schools, to be able to find a place that's, and I'll brag a little bit, that's great. We're great at what we do, and be able to afford that where it's not coming out of a pocket, but it's the ESA scholarship is great. That also covers transportation, so whether you live in Gilbert, Mesa, Cave Creek, wherever you're at in the valley, there's transportation that can be provided for you from your home to the school, which is a big relief for our parents.
Yes.
Everyone has a job nowadays, whether you're working from home or you go in. So to be able to have your kids picked up and dropped off and coming out to Gateway is great.
Yeah. My mom was an educator for 34 years, and she ended up retiring after teaching the at-risk kids, the ones that really couldn't test into special ed but needed the extra help to, stay in general ed. She said it was the most rewarding position she ever held because the kids were actually appreciative at the end of the day of what they learned. I can only imagine the happy tears that y'all go home with every night, knowing gosh, just that one kid said, thank you, we made it today, because that can be so difficult. At the same time, I think that gives the kids something to focus on of I accomplished this one thing today, and we can focus on the positivity of that, rather than what I didn't get to that I wanted to.
Oh, for sure. It's every day in the hustle and bustle, you kind of forget big picture, but it's a kid coming in and saying, this is the best school. I made a friend who will come in and talk about how they went to the mall or went to some Pokemon event, this weekend with two of their classmates. And to them, these are kids that they might think they have friends, and they do. But, once they come to Gateway, it does take a village. But all these kids are like-minded. They're super smart. Their interests are similar. And normal, there is no such thing as normal, but in their mind, that's what they want to be, which is kind of a little overrated to start out with.
It is, yep.
But it kind of brings it back. When you're sitting in your office sending an email, it brings it back home when a kid comes down and says, this school is great.
Yeah.
Like I said, I went to a birthday party, and when they say they went, they really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's little things like that big picture, I just go through my day and forget about.
Yeah.
But when you're hearing it coming from, a 6th, 7th grader's mouth, it just kind of touches your heart.
It does,
it really means something to these kids.
Yeah, that says a lot. Robin, what is the biggest thing about Gateway Academy that you'd like our community to learn and know about that you think that they're missing?
Gateway is the only school in the state of Arizona that focuses on a pure population of kids diagnosed with high-functioning autism and kids that are twice exceptional.
Yeah.
We're the only school in the state that this is our mission, this is our passion, this is what we do, this is what we do well. And most families don't know where to go for this service. Yeah. And unfortunately, we're kind of a well-kept secret, not on purpose.
Yeah.
So once the parents find us, it's I wish we had found you a few years ago. And it's oh, gosh.
Hey, better late than never, kind of thing.
Indeed. But for both the parents and the kids, this is their tribe. And this is what they say. When they do a shadow day, they'll come in and we never know what they're going to say. And they come in typically elated. Mm-hmm. And you get teary when
Yeah, I
you
can
hear
imagine.
these kids respond. And it's like, I'm safe here.
Yeah.
Somebody really listened to me about, astronomy. Isn't that crazy, Mom?
Yeah. But, every human being needs to feel accepted in some kind
Yes.
of community, whether it's just I have Pokemon friends or whether they're into astronomy or anything.
Right.
For those kids not to feel that until they come to you, I mean, what that does for their mental health, their self-esteem
Absolutely.
is a complete 180, I can only imagine.
Absolutely. It makes or breaks the path that these kids are going to take.
Yeah, I would almost say life-changing, truly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At such a young age, being impressionable, especially our population, I mean, it's life-changing for these kids.
You still have room for more. We're not full yet.
We're not full yet. We do have room for more. Our class sizes are really small. That's purposeful. That won't change. Middle school has a maximum of 12. High school, maximum of 14. And that is manageable for our kids to be able to feel safe, to feel heard, to feel supported, and to be the best they can be.
Yeah, and a shout out to your teachers too, because
they're great.
I mean, I have 2 kids and my patience is out the window sometimes when I wake up. So for them to have 14 kids and 12 kids in their classrooms, I mean, and to have the patience to teach them individually at the same time, mad kudos to their teachers and
Yes,
stuff.
definitely. We have the best teachers.
I can only imagine. Well, Robin, your son is now an adult. How is he doing in life?
He is walking the walk.
I love that.
He's doing great. He graduated from 3 different programs. He started at Scottsdale Community College in their audio production program, graduated from there, went on to Musicians Institute in Hollywood, graduated from there in audio engineering. Then COVID happened. Then he didn't have a job. It was not the industry to be in.
Right, exactly. Bless his heart.
He decided to reinvent himself during that time. I knew that was going to cost money.
Your money too, Mom.
Indeed. I'll never retire. Not ever. Can't. And so he found a super cool apprenticeship program. It's called the Recording Connection. And he went into different studios and got a degree in film production, and it was very hands-on. It was that
Intense.
Changed my perspective. He always says that he's our guinea pig, and sorry, son, you're right.
But you're living proof. Your parents aren't just coming to your school. You have the experience, you too. Anthony, between your brother and being a sibling and understanding that, Robin, as being a parent. It's not just, hey, I have a certificate in this and I get
Exactly.
it. You've lived it. You've breathed it your whole life. To me, as a parent, that makes me feel secure and safe bringing my children to a place like yours because I know you get it. When you say, I get it, you actually get it because you've been in our shoes. And I think that says a lot about you all and to the parents that are looking at Gateway Academy as well.
Well, I think it's, I think it is comforting to the parents when they come in and they go, I just really don't want to share this with you. And it's like, oh, bring it on.
There's nothing I haven't heard.
I can top it 10 times, 10 times over. And they share. And then we have that comfortable, reciprocal conversation that's definitely not judgmental.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I'm going to take that tip from you. And,
right. It takes a village. We have to learn from each other.
It does.
It really
Absolutely.
does. Well, before we leave, I'm going to throw you a curveball. This seems to be everyone's hardest question. So let's see how you do, Anthony. Okay. I'm going to start with you. What's your favorite Scottsdale vibe?
Oh.
My favorite Scottsdale vibe.
See, now Robin gets to cheat because she has time to think about her answer. So
take all the time you want, Anthony.
Yes. I'll go ahead and Scottsdale vibe. Can it be like a restaurant?
It can be whatever you want. This is what's your favorite vibe?
Okay, I'll say my vibe. So Cornish pastry is in Old Town Scottsdale. Okay. That's kind of my vibe. I love to eat there.
Yeah.
Kind of good vibes, inside, outside. Yeah, that's kind of my vibe.
I love it. What's your favorite thing to eat there?
I Always get the Reuben if they have it. If it's not out yet. Yeah, that's definitely my vibe.
So go early next time.
Yes.
All right, good to know. All right, I know Robin's like, dang it wasn't long enough, Anthony.
It sure wasn't.
Robin, what is your favorite Scottsdale vibe?
It's going to sound corny, but it is the incredible connectivity between all of the autism organizations in the Phoenix area that are so supportive of one another and so collaborative. It's very unusual. It's usually girls not playing nicely in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies.
It is.
And so it's so enlightening. It's so supportive. I think the most powerful thing is it's so refreshing and it's honest and it's genuine and they want to help.
I think that about Scottsdale as a whole. I've said that. I've lived all over the U.S., and it's my favorite city because of what those things are. It's a very successful city with the people that live here, but there is room for everyone, and everyone wants to help everyone, and I've never felt that in a big city before, and I think that says a lot about the people that are here. So I agree with you, Robin. That's one of my favorite things, too. Yep, you're good.
Awesome.
I agree.
And I chose food. So,
No, listen, that's most people's answer. One of the best answers I had was he loves car watching. Like when he loves to go to Old Town and car watch. And I was like, that's fantastic. Most people like people watching. It's like, it's the cars for me.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right? So but this is what I love. And because Scottsdale is different to everybody, but it's the same for everybody too. And that's the whole purpose of this. And that's the purpose of Gateway Academy. We can stand out and be different and still be together and still be supportive and help one another. And that's the purpose of Scottsdale. And that's what I like to showcase. So you all are a piece of that, and I'm so excited. Go to gatewayacademy.us to find more. There is a school for you. There is a school for your student. And if you or someone you know needs help, please reach out. They are so accessible. I showed up one day to talk to them, and it was fantastic. And they want to hear from you and help you with their resources. When we come back, we're going to have the calendar of events. Robin, Anthony, thank you so much. And congratulations to your success, and most important, to your students' success. I think we should brag about that as well.
No,
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Buying a home can be scary and sometimes frustrating, but all of that can go away with the right realtor. And that's where Sean Shackleton with the Shackleton Group is here for you. Sean has over 25 years experience in real estate. She's here to get you what you want and won't settle for less. She's experienced, knowledgeable, and understands this market, which these days is always changing. Take the stress out of your next home purchase by calling Sean at 480-734-7277. You can also find her at theshackletongroup.com. Coming up this week is the Vikara Summer Poolside Yoga. Join your yoga friends poolside at the Monarch Beach Club on Thursday nights. Doors open at 6. It's an hour-long fluid yoga that starts at 6:30, followed by wellness pool party until 9. There'll be complimentary ice baths provided by Optimized Micropractic Bodywork with Todd Miller, and you can stay for dinner and drinks. The Sonder Pool is going to have Diego Pops, Montauk, Hot Chick, and other well-known local eateries, as well as the pool has great food. I've stayed there. It's fantastic. The Old Town Art Walk is coming back starting Thursday, September 7th from 7 to 9 p.m. A great way to stay late and see some artists in their natural habitat. There's dancing, live music, and an art scene like no other. My family and I love going to this. My kids love it. They ask the artists questions. It's really an interactive night. I really suggest you go check it out if you haven't tried it. And each Thursday is kind of different because there's always different artists around. So go enjoy yourself. Go have dinner out there and then go for an art walk. Speaking of special needs that we were just talking about, Gateway Academy, the Abilities Expo at Westworld is September 8th through 10th. Join us at the Abilities Expo and be a part of a vibrant community that celebrates diversity, resilience, and the limitless potential within us all. As we just heard from Robin and Anthony, really the sky is the limit. Together, we're reshaping perceptions, fostering connections, and creating a world where every ability is celebrated and every individual is empowered. You can find adaptive solutions, interactive workshops, and seminars and inclusive sports and recreation. There really is something for everyone. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast listening app. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Scottsdale Vibes Podcast, as well as on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to our weekly newsletter at scottsdalevibes.media. That way you'll never miss another calendar of events, episode, or anything that's Scottsdale. And don't forget to go get your newest edition of Scottsdale City Lifestyle to find out more about the wonderful people, places, and events that we get to call home. Have a wonderful week, Scottsdale. Keep vibing, and I'll see you around town.